What can we expect in these January 6 hearings now that they're back? The last time there were a lot of bombshells. It's been some time since then. We've had the whole classified documents thing. What can we expect out of these? Well, we might get a referral for prosecution of the president. Although if it does come, they're saying it's going to have to be unanimous. As Representatives Adam Schiff and Liz Cheney, they say that they do believe that Trump committed wrongdoing in relation to the riot. No real surprise there, but that it will require a unanimous declaration. Schiff told Jake Tapper, "We operate with a high degree of consensus and unanimity. It will be certainly, I think, my recommendation, my feeling that we should make referrals, but we will get to a decision as a committee, and we will all abide by that decision, and I will join our committee members if they feel differently." So he's at least signaling he's open to, they come out of this with no referral, and then we just go on about our lives and wait until the next insurrection or something. But he does say, "I do agree that there have been several laws broken, and it is, I think, apparent that there is evidence that Donald Trump was involved in breaking several of those laws. When Congress does find evidence that people have broken the law, it is not always the case that it makes a referral. But in circumstances like these, I think that's the better part of the argument." So, by the way, them making the referral, I don't even know how significant of a move that is, because in theory, the DOJ has also been investigating this independently. Maybe the hearings will come up with some evidence that the DOJ hadn't found, which would be embarrassing. And that combined with the referral could lead to them actually doing something. But I kind of feel like Merrick Garland's going to do what he's going to do, regardless of what Adam Schiff and Liz Cheney think about it. But what do you think?
I mean, I think when it comes to the committee itself, given that the Republicans on it are Kissinger, who decided not to run for re-election, and Liz Cheney, who has decided to do what a Cheney has never done, which is take like the actual moral right road. Like that, I think the committee will unanimously agree and refer criminal charges. Getting Congress on board is a whole other can of worms, and it definitely comes down to the November election, and what happens, and whether we are going to see impunity or not. I think depends on whether we keep the House and the Senate or not. But it is so chilling to imagine us just taking stock of everything that happened, as we've been doing, and then moving on and being like, well, what are you going to do? Let's hope that some of the lawsuits that Tish James is issuing against the family bankrupts them.
Yeah, exactly. Or something with the documents. We'll see. Raymond Dearie, come on, do your job. I don't know. Yeah, it's all just hopes. We'll have to see. That's just the referral, though. That's not actually the most interesting part of what's coming. So here are the whisperings that I have heard of what might be coming starting on Wednesday. So the panel may establish a link between Donald Trump and his inner circle, including longtime ally Roger Stone and his former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, and their communications with far-right extremist groups who stormed the Capitol. So not necessarily demonstrating direct communication between the White House and the groups, but the White House with those intermediaries and the intermediaries with the extremist groups. So we might see some evidence of that, text messages, maybe transcripts of calls, that sort of thing. They also might discuss whether Trump fired his defense secretary, Mark Esper, to replace him with someone who would support his plan to seize voting machines or delay the certification of Joe Biden's election victory, as well as discussions about imposing martial law after Election Day. Mm-hmm. That seems important. If they replaced a guy like this, and remember, they were firing people left and right who weren't sufficiently loyal at that point. That seems pretty important. Certainly goes to intent. You don't replace those people because there was voter fraud. You replace those people because you want them to do something that they feel is unethical or illegal. So you've got that coming. Also, Representative Benny Thompson of Mississippi says, quote, "We have substantial footage of what occurred that we haven't used." So there's still more footage. I know some people have been wondering, wasn't there that embedded documentary crew that might have footage from the Trump side of this, which we haven't really seen any of? That is possible. I haven't seen any specifics about what the footage might include, but we can expect to see some stuff that hasn't happened yet. And finally, and perhaps spiciest of all, we've been waiting to see what would it be like if they actually spoke on the record live with crazy. What if they had Steve Bannon? What if they had Roger Stone? What if they had Donald Trump? They haven't had any of those things. But they will apparently have Virginia Ginny Thomas, wife of Supreme Court Judge Clarence Thomas. And if you think you know what she'll say or what she won't, buckle up, because she crazy. And she may just lay the whole thing bare, Francesca. It's impossible to say at this point.
Oh, I'm so excited. You know, I mean, nothing's going to happen. Like, you know, right? Like, Clarence Thomas will still serve on the Supreme Court until his death. You know, we won't impeach a Supreme Court justice, even though we should and could over this. But Ginny Thompson will absolutely, Ginny Thomas, Clarence
Thomas, yeah.
Thank you. She will absolutely expose just how crazy she is, and I love it. I think it'll be good.
Oh, we'll see. I can't wait to find out. Would she actually reveal anything she said to Thomas? I don't know. I don't know if she would. And we know that she was texting a lot of people in the White House. We have those texts already, so I don't know what she'll look. The only thing that makes me excited about it is that all of them know what they were trying to do. Most of them are at least minimally savvy enough to not reveal the whole plan. But she's like a straight up QAnon believer.
Yeah.
Like, she may think that I will initiate the storm by revealing all. Like, we honestly don't know. So personally, I know there's going to be a couple of hours of coverage, Jessica Burbank, and then I'm going to be taking over. I just pray that she goes crazy on my watch, because I want to cover that.
Yeah, you got to fight Jessica for that. I always hate when it's like you have to do the handoff and it's getting really good. I mean, we'll probably see a version of like the Kavanaugh defense, like, you know, like what is a devil's triangle, or what is, you know, whatever. And he's like, it's when you go to church and the Holy Spirit, like whatever the hell he says. Because with Ginny, it'll be like, so what is the Kraken? And she's like, well, I have an aquarium in my home, and there is a small little octopus in there with the fish, and that is the Kraken.
Release that adorable little sucker.
Yeah.